Wait. Just wait a second.
The woman who had persistently preserved her silence until now finally opens her mouth. Throwing off her blankets, she delicately stands up and walks purposefully toward me.
You! Just what is your deal?
She slams both her hands on the table. Bending forward, she brings her face up to mine. Her entire body gives off a ghastly aura, filling me with dread.
My name is Fuyakawa Kokoro, you say? Then why did you say it was Yukito before?
I don't know what she's angry about, but the dreadful expression on her face leaves me unable to reply.
Answer me! You! Just what are you plotting?
Plotting? Now this is a word I remember hearing. Somehow it feels almost like a reenactment of my dream. Saying I'm Fuyukawa Kokoro, and having someone get angry because of that, it did rather resemble the dream. Then, was that dream supposed to be some kind of premonition?
Hey! You listening? I'm talking to you!
I'm listening, really.
Your attitude sure has changed from before, hasn't it?
Before. When they say before, just what do these people mean?
Well, I'll ask you one more time. Why are you saying something so stupid?
Something so stupid?
Don't pretend like you don't know! Obviously, when you were trying to trick us by saying you were Yukito Satoru.
Just who is that person?
Stop it with the lousy act already!
Act. Even though I'm not acting.
Now, calm down, Mayuzumi. You're scaring Fuyakawa-san.
What did you just say? Mayuzumi? You just called me Mayuzumi, didn't you? Stop addressing me as if I were your pal! Just who do you think you are?
Well then, what should I call you? Lin-chan, maybe?
You making fun of me, you unshaven old bastard? Being channed around is the thing I hate most in this world.
Then what's the thing you hate the second most?
People I don't know calling me by my last name with no honorifics at all.
Then what would number 3 be?
Number 3 is... let's see. Being called by the wrong name, maybe. Like being called Suzu instead of Lin, or being called Kaoru instead of Mayuzumi. Now that you mention it, one time I got a direct mail addressed to someone named Tombi, written the same as Black Kite. Why did it arrive at my house? I wish people wouldn't suddenly decide that I'm some bird of prey.
Did you hear that? Tombi, she said. It'd sure suit you to be reborn as a falcon, wouldn't it?
Shut up! Brats like you should just get lost!
Whoa, what's wrong with you? was just joking around.
What? Got a problem?
This is why grannies are trouble.
Uni had probably gotten angry as he deliberately muttered the phrase at a volume just loud enough for it to be heard.
Granny? Where do you get off calling a lovely young maiden of 23 a granny? A granny!
I called you a granny because you are a granny, you senile old hag.
You bastard!
Look, you've got crow's feet all around your eyes, don't you, Tobaline-chan?
You damn brat! You wanna go? Huh? Do ya?
As if. Who'd want to start a fight with an old lady like you?
Now you've done it! I wonder if I should just roll you up in a mat and throw you outside!
Try it if you can, you persimmon gobbling old hag.
You've got it, you four-eyed sea anemone!
Come on! Cut it out, you two!
Yomogi, sick of watching their back and forth, decided to interfere and push the two apart.
You haven't forgotten where we are, have you? What are you gonna do if you waste all your strength on a pointless squabble like this?
But...
No buts. If you carry on with this nonsense, you'll be sleeping in the storeroom. Are we clear?
Yomogi lectured them in a surprisingly dignified tone. The two exchanged sharp glares, but restrained themselves from taking any further actions. Even those two couldn't do anything with Yomogi standing like a mountain between them. Neither really backing down, Uni and the woman both looked away and returned to their respective territories.
Really now?
Yomogi sighed as he placed his hand on his hip. Before we knew it, we had lost track of our conversation, and the target of the woman's anger had completely changed. I was certainly glad to have gotten out of further questioning, but... Anyway, I was able to at least establish the woman's name. Mayuzumi Lin. Like a cat about to flee after a fight, she opened her mouth to let out a last parting complaint. Her personality was almost the complete opposite of what I had imagined it would be, based on her mature looks and graceful bearing. The image of her I had in my mind just a few moments earlier had been thoroughly revised. The woman had a rude, harsh, and uninhibited personality. By the way, Mayuzumi's questioning, though it had been brief, had implemented a lingering feeling of uneasiness in the corner of my mind. It's about Yukido Satoru. Why was I mistaken for this Yukido person, whom I've never met before and know nothing about? First of all, just who is Yukido Satoru? That, and the words both Yomogi and Mayuzumi had said, bother me.
A while ago, you were saying all sorts of weird things.
Why did you say it was Yukito before?
Didn't I tell you my name just now?
Your attitude sure has changed from before, hasn't it?
Before. Replaying it all in my head, I finally arrived at an answer. Based on what they had said, only one conclusion could be reached. No, something like that just wasn't possible. I denied my own thoughts immediately. It was something that I couldn't believe, that I didn't want to believe. The conclusion I had reached was simply too unreal to accept. That's why I turned away from it. I didn't want to think about it any further. I am me, Fuyukawa Kokoro. I'm no one else but me. Struggling to suppress my wild thoughts, I tried to convince myself of this. It was around 10 p.m. A large heap of blankets in hand, Mayuzumi climbed up onto the top bunk. Now there was a woman lying with her back towards us in more ways than one. The kind of person that would stay in bed just to show everyone how much she detested their company. I wasn't sure if she was really sleeping or not. She may have just had her eyes closed. In any case, without so much as a sorry or a good night, this woman shut herself away into her own little world. Naturally, there wasn't anyone who bothered to ask her what she was up to. To tell the truth, I myself was a little relieved that the troublesome one had decided to settle down.
Well then, shall we begin?
As if prudently choosing his timing, Yomugi quietly opened his mouth.
There's something I'd like to say before I begin. Please, don't lose heart. There's still hope.
He carefully chose his words as he continued solemnly.